How does one move from balotpadita shraddha to swabhaviki shraddha? Because repeated balotpadita shraddha causes internal disrespect.
Repeat, please. I didn't hear.
How does one move from balotpadita shraddha to swabhaviki shraddha?
Because repeated what?
Because repeated balotpadita causes internal disrespect.
So the idea here is that if somebody pushes you or forces you or applies some pressure, and if this somebody is superior to you, then you feel resistance to these external pushes, and that kind of manifest in disrespect. It's a very unfortunate scenario which is described here, because in case of real preacher, the real preacher never forces you to do sadhana. The real preacher gives you the experience of the sweetness of bhakti and the necessity of bhakti. He never forces you to do this. And if you are in the circumstances when you are forced to do this, it's definitely not very advantageous and not very favorable. From the very beginning, we have to be very clear that I'm practicing bhakti because I'm free, not because somebody needs it, somebody wants it, somebody demands it from me. The practice of bhakti is only powerful when we have this internal sense of freedom. So if you are in a situation when you feel gross or subtle pressure to do bhakti, and there are certain things which you can do. One is to come to another circumstances when nobody pressurizes you. Another one is to work with your heart and to understand it's not that somebody that I'm doing sadhana because somebody wants me to do it, but I need it. This is my need. This is my urgent need. So and that we can always do without changing the circumstances, to work internally that he's or she who is pushes me or forces me into this situation, he wishes me well. He or she may not understand how it works, but he still pushes me in the right direction. So I should be grateful to him or her for doing this. And because ultimately I need it. So, and in this way we can restore the respect to the person, because we understand it's just his sincere desire to help me on my path. Something like this.
Thank you, Maharaj. Next question for Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj. Intelligence is the faculty to discriminate. It's a part of our subtle body. How do we distinguish between material intelligence and spiritual intelligence?
That which discriminates on the basis of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra is spiritual intelligence. That which discriminates on the basis of the bodily concept of life or forgetfulness of Krishna is material intelligence.
Thank you, Maharaj. To Bhakti Vijnana Goswami Maharaj, what are the vital practices and principles to inculcate in training program for bhakti so that the soul receives this pure seed of pure Shraddha? Apart from giving lectures on such books and association of great souls, what more could we do?
What more could we do to receive the seed of
pure Shraddha?
There's nothing more. It's more than enough to associate and to hear the. That's it. You, of course, there is this concept of Sukriti, the Sukriti which you are doing, Agyata Sukriti, unknowingly, like fasting on Ekadashi on special days. If you happen to fast, then it will definitely increase or prepare you to receive the seed. So, like for example, going to Kumbh Mela, it's a very good way to prepare oneself to receive the seed. There are so many other things which are there in the scriptures, but ultimately they all are there mostly to push us into the association of sadhus, from whom we can receive the real seeds. And that should be enough.
Thank you, Maharaj. The next question is for Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj. Maharaj, you mentioned that one quality of Krishna is he always speaks pleasingly and politely. As a teacher and as a mother, I personally struggle to always speak politely. How can we develop this quality and how to deal with some toxic situations, keeping this quality in our minds? Sanchari Mataji asks.
Well, it's a long topic of speech. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks about speech as an austerity. Anyone knows the verse?
Anudvegakaram vakyam
Anudvegakaram vakyam
satyam priyahitam chayat.
One person.
Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat.
Satyam priya
Priyam
hitam.
hitam chayat. Swadhyaya bhyasanam chaiva vangmaya tapa uchyate.
Svadhyayam Dhyasanam chaiva
Vangmaya tapa
Vagmaya.
uchyate.
Okay, so what are the characteristics of speech that are mentioned here? Anudvegakaram vakyam is the first, that you should not cause udvega or disturbance to others. So your speech should be anudvegakaram, not causing disturbance. So which means you don't unnecessarily speak disturbing words. Second,
Satyam
satyam, it should be truth. Third,
priyam
priyam, it should be pleasing. Fourth,
hitam
hitam, which should be beneficial for somebody. Swadhyaya and abhyasanam, of course, are parts of one's own personal practices. But in these first four, that it should not be disturbing, it should be the truth, it should be pleasing, and it should be beneficial. Which is the most important? How many think, okay, so these are four. Which is the most important? It's not to say that none of these four are relevant. All are relevant. But when you talk in terms of comparative importance, which of these four is the most? Anyone raise? Yeah. Hitam. Hitam means for the benefit of others. Hitam. Any other views? Priyam. Because you are a Priya devotee, that's why. Hitam. Priyam, okay. We have group. So ultimately, of course, it is hitam. Benefit. Whatever is for the benefit of others and for oneself should be spoken. Sometimes it may be Priya and sometimes it may not be Priya. Sometimes it may be Udvegakara and sometimes it may be Anudvegakara. So, while Srila Prabhupada speaks on this, he said sometimes because we are preachers and we are in the business, so to speak, of speaking the truth, we sometimes speak words that don't seem pleasing to others. But we cannot give up the truth. We have to speak the truth, Satyam. At the same time, he says an experienced preacher will learn how to speak the truth pleasingly. So it should be Hitam, and it should be Satyam, and it should be Priyam also as far as possible. But the priority is Hitam. Sometimes you may encourage somebody in devotional service, even though it may not be actually the truth in some sense, but just for that devotee's encouragement. But it should be based on the fundamental truth of Krishna consciousness, the absolute truth. But ultimately, if something is for the well-being of somebody, then the hitam is the priority. Okay, you remember the story of Kaushika that I narrated earlier. So, Kaushika put Satyam over Hitam. He should have put Hitam over Satyam. That was Krishna's point, that Hitam should have been first. Right? So, sometimes, especially if you are in a position of authority like a parent or a teacher, you may have to sometimes speak words that may not seem pleasing, but if they are based on Satyam and they are done with an intention to help the other person, then it's all right. But still, as far as possible, we have to try to accommodate the principle of Priyam also. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj. Next question is for Bhakti Vijnana Goswami Maharaj. Maharaj, we hear the scriptures through devotees, but being individuals, devotees do highlight certain aspects of scriptures based on their personal taste. And we also tend to get inclined in that same way. How do we understand the scriptures on an unbiased way?
First of all, we have to understand the need of understanding the scriptures in unbiased way or impartially. Unless we understand that it is very much necessary, then of course we will get something which we like from the scriptures. Like Arjuna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kula Dharma Sanatana, the eternal dharma of my family. So, and somebody can make the whole essence of Bhagavad Gita from these words, Kula Dharma Sanatana. Or whatever. Somebody can say that this is ahimsa, even though ahimsa is not, which Krishna stresses there. So we have to understand the need. If we are sincere enough, and sincerity means clear intelligence. If the intelligence is clear, then we understand that I need to have the balanced and harmonious and complete understanding of Shastra. And then if this desire is there, Krishna will send to you the opportunities to do this. Because this is how it works. If we have desire, then if we have desire to understand Shastra in a distorted way, for sure we will find somebody who will present Shastra in such a way which is pleasing to us. But if we want to have complete and wholesome understanding of the Shastra, the opportunities will be there, no doubt about that.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Next question is for Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj. Can you kindly explain about the worship of Laddu Gopal by ISKCON devotees at their homes along with Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra and Radha Krishna? Does it interfere with the mood prescribed by our acharyas to worship Krishna in Kaishora age?
Somehow controversies can never be avoided, right? Well, you see, it depends on the individual devotee. The Siddhanta is there. We have our worshipable Navakishore, the fresh youth of Vrindavan, who is our Aradhya Deva. Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam. So that is clear. At the same time, as Bhakti Vijnana Maharaj explained this morning, we also do go to the Lakshmi Narasimha temple. We have darshan there. We don't disrespect, and we must often offer worship as well. So in the process of cultivation of our worshipable deity, that's Navakishore, Krishna, it is okay if the devotee wishes to worship another form, like Laddu Gopal is the one. Bal Gopal is generally the way to say, but another common parlance has become Laddu Gopal. So Bal Gopal, the Pushti Margis especially worship Bal Gopal. So if someone wants to, it's okay. It's fine if they are feeling happy with that. But gradually as they get understanding, then they will also, their primary worship will also be on Navakishore Krishna. As far as Gaur Nitai and Jagannath, they are in a different category, because Gaur Nitai are the ones who are the incarnations for this age, who are showing us how to render Krishna consciousness in the mood of Vrindavan. They have come here to propagate the Yuga Dharma. So Gaur Nitai is a must. Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, of course, are also very special deities. They are Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Jagannath Puri for many years, during the Madhya Leela partially and Antya Leela almost completely, because Jagannath is actually Krishna in a mood of separation from the Vrajavasis and especially Srimati Radharani. So Mahaprabhu understood that. So our understanding of Jagannath, as explained by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and the other acharyas, is this. So therefore the deities of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra are also very important for us. We don't see them merely as Krishna, Balaram and Subhadra of Dwarka. They are, but what is more important is their mood of feeling separation from Vrindavan.
Thank you, Maharaj. The next question is to Bhakti Vijnana Goswami Maharaj. Maharaj, from your presentation yesterday evening, I got an impression that one needs to study the Gita scrutinizingly, which today also morning you emphasized. And I have a clear understanding, and all the devotees should have a clear understanding of its concepts. At the same time, we know that there are devotees who will not have inclination to study or read Shastra. Otherwise, they are good devotees. Their sadhana is good, services are good, they are hearing Krishna Katha. But if somebody is not getting introduced to the concepts of Gita in early age, what about the progress of such devotees?
There could be different answers to this question. It's quite conceivable that some people already passed the stage of understanding that they have very firm foundation within, and they are very eagerly striving to the Lord and practicing everything, and they already have this very good foundation of their bhakti without studying too much, perhaps from the past lives or whatever it is. That's a possibility. So if despite of their lack of studying of the Shastra, they're still very fixed up and very determined, it may not be a deficiency, but this is a rare case. In most of the cases, this apathy to study Shastra is a problem, and because when even little faith is there, then the interest to hear about Krishna from the Shastra is naturally ignited within our heart. So I may follow the path of bhakti, but because the consciousness may not be right for such a person, still the following will not be so effective. In general, I may not be suited to study myself Sanskrit or all the intricacies, but at least I should have the taste to hear how other devotees are explaining Shastras. This is the very least, and this everyone can have. So if the taste is not at all there, something is wrong.
Thank you, Maharaj. Next question is for Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj. Jyoti Mataji asks, many times we remember Krishna with affection and eagerness, and that too happens in distress only. How can we attain that stage where we could remember Krishna always with that much affection and eagerness, even though not in distress? Not in distress. Not in distress. Usually we remember Krishna with affection and love in distress. How can we come to that stage wherein we remember Krishna always, even with that same affection and eagerness, even without distress?
You know, although we have strong philosophical differences with a certain well-known sage called Kabir, but Srila Prabhupada did quote him on one or two occasions for certain things. We need not quote him for other things. He doesn't quite speak the philosophy of bhakti. But Prabhupada quoted this and said in Hindi, "Dukh mein sab hari bhaje, sukh mein bhaje na koi. Jo sukh mein hari bhaje, to dukh kahan se hoye." The translation being that everybody worships the Lord in distress, and nobody worships the Lord when they are happy. But if one worships the Lord when one is happy, then there will be no more distress. So the idea is that is what sadhana bhakti is, to perform devotional activities under the guidance of the Guru Sadhu Shastra, regardless of whether we are feeling happy or in distress. It has to be done. That's what sadhana is, especially Vaidhi, that we do according to some rules. Yes, we have to do it. Even though the intention is there, but sometimes we may be a little less enthusiastic, sometimes more, but we still do it as a sadhana. And if we just persist in doing it, then we will be able to do Krishna consciousness regardless of whether our mind is in distress or our mind is in happiness.
Thank you, Maharaj. These are similar questions to Bhakti Vijnana Goswami Maharaj. If full faith is the entry door to pure devotion, where is the position of a Kanishta Adhikari based on Shraddha in this stage of devotional progress? Can we say that he has not yet entered into pure devotion as his faith is yet to become pure?
I have a chemical education, chemical background. And in chemistry, there are different gradations of purity. Sometimes in a bottle it is said pure. Sometimes it is said very pure. Sometimes it is said extremely pure. Sometimes it is said especially pure. So, if this is true for the chemical substances, the same is true for bhakti. Bhakti can be pure on the level of, and actually every professional chemist knows when it says pure, it means it's not so pure. So, when it says especially pure, that's pure. So in the same way, we may generously call everyone who follows the path of pure bhakti as a pure devotee, because he follows the path of pure bhakti. His heart may not be pure yet, but because he follows this path, he is technically speaking a pure devotee. And it's not wrong to call him a pure devotee. But this purity should not be mixed with absolute purity. So pure is a relative term. So you can be a pure devotee, but still there is something which is lacking in your devotion, on the purity of your devotion. So some mixture may be there. You're pure because you're following the pure path, because your practice is, because you only practice pure devotion means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, and you're pure because your goal is pure. But still your heart may not be pure on a level of Kanishta, but Prabhupada used to say that if somebody is in the shower, you should not criticize him because he is dirty. He is already in the shower, so sooner or later he will become pure. Therefore, you can call him pure. Srila Prabhupada once said, all my disciples are pure devotees. And the disciples were wondering, Prabhupada, how is that we're pure devotees? You know what we did, or you don't know what we did. And he said, no, you're pure devotees because when you heard the sound of the holy name, you just rushed on the sound of the holy name. And that's your purity. The purity, you heard the sound of the holy name and you felt the attraction of the sound, and despite of whatever you're doing, you were doing before, even doing now, still because you felt this attraction, it means that you are pure, and it means that eventually you will become absolutely pure.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. So because of less availability of time, we will have to break the question answer session here. It is the time to, in one sense, formally end the entire Sadhu Sangha retreat. From the core of our hearts, we are all indebted to His Holiness Bhakti Vijnana Goswami Maharaj and His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj for sparing their 3 most valuable days, coming here and really blessing us with their Amritvani about the 64 qualities of Krishna and the Madhurya Kadambini showers. It is very, very rare to get association of such divine souls practicing bhakti for decades on and ready to share everything with all of us. So we are very, very grateful, Maharaj, for your coming here. Let us express our heartfelt gratitude to both of them by loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And as I said, it is like 1/4 of the portion completed both ways, so it keeps us in hankering mode. So we look forward to both of your association more and more so that the syllabus can go ahead. So, thank you very much.